As a translator for Cherokee Nation, I translate for the Cherokee Phoenix, the articles, put it in Cherokee language, translate here at the Immersion. They need stuff all the time, so we help translate materials for the schools, and as well as North Carolina Immersion School. We work with them, and just whatever you see at the hospitals, at the clinics, they have Cherokee written. We translate street signs and everything you see in Cherokee around here. It all started way back down in Marble City at that little old church where I really got the idea to learn from my Aunt Cynthia. She was the only one that read Cherokee in our church. Of course, we had an uncle. He was a preacher, and he would tell his sister, "Could you read that passage in Cherokee for me?" And she would get up in the church and she'd open up that Bible and read it. And I thought, boy, that sure is something to me, She can read our own language. And so I talked to my grandmother, and she gave me a piece of paper, and it had all them syllabary on there, and she would sound them out. So I learned a little bit then, but I was just a child, But I never did think about it later on until I got into high school, and I met Durbin Phelan, and he said, "Hey, Chooch," he talked to me in Cherokee, He said, "I'll have a class at the evening. Why don't you come to my class and learn how to read Cherokee?" I said, "I know a little bit. I can get by," He said, "But I want you to learn good." So I started his class, and I remembered a lot of what I learned from my grandparents, my grandmother especially. But that's where I got to want to learn, through my Aunt Cynthia. And I thought that was an honor, that they chose me for that award. I can teach somebody, I can talk to somebody in Cherokee. That's the thing that I cannot fail at. But I think everybody should be learning. That's what we need to save our language.
David has been instrumental in the success of many of our language learners here in the program, professionally and just as a supportive community member. He's taken a lot of our students under his wing and spent a lot of time with them after hours, and he's there to answer any question that they have in the language. And he's developed a really close relationship and rapport with our language learners, which is difficult sometimes for our learners who perhaps don't have family who are speakers. He's one example of the individuals that really support and hold up our program and the learners.